A lord once asked a Japanese archer to shoot a coin from his outreached hand from 200 paces away. The archer closed his eyes first. Everyone watching held their breath. One small mistake, and the arrow would not find the coin. It would find the lord. The archer's name was Kenizo. Lords and warriors traveled for days just to watch him shoot. People said he never missed, even at distances where ordinary archers could barely see the target. He stood still, breathed slow and deep, opened his eyes, then released the arrow in one motion. It struck the coin dead center and sent it spinning through the air. A young man pushed through the crowd and fell to his knees. He had to know the secret. Kenizo's answer surprised everyone listening. He said he did not make that shot once. He had made it 10,000 times before, every morning and every night, for 30 years inside his own mind. When he finally released the arrow that day, his hands simply repeated something they had already done. But how do you train 10,000 times without ever touching a bow? The young man found out himself. Kenizo took him on as a student. For an entire year, the boy was not allowed to touch a bow. Every single day, he sat in a quiet room. He held an imaginary bow, felt its weight in his hands, drew the string, released the arrow, watched it fly straight, and strike the target. Again and again, all inside his own mind. Many days he wanted to quit. It felt like wasted time. Kenizo reminded him of an old teaching. The master has failed more times than the beginner has ever tried. The difference is where the failing happens. The master fails inside his own mind, quietly, with no real consequence, until the failing simply stops. After one full year, the boy finally held a real bow for the first time. It felt strangely familiar in his hand, as though he had already held it 1,000 times. His body already knew how to stand, how to draw, how to release. His first arrow flew straight and landed close to the center. A year of invisible practice had quietly built something real. The master has failed more than the beginner has tried. But how does sitting in a quiet room actually teach the hands anything at all? Here is what was really happening. Imagine biting into a lemon, not actually doing it, just imagining it vividly right now. Your mouth waters, your face tightens slightly. Your body reacts as though the lemon was real, even though nothing is there. This is the part Zen masters understood centuries before anyone studied it in a laboratory. The mind does not fully separate what is vividly imagined from what is actually happening. When you imagine a movement in detail, your muscles respond with tiny contractions, too small to see, but real enough over time to train the body. The student's muscles had been quietly practicing the entire year, even though he never picked up a bow. Scientists eventually tested this directly. They split a group of ordinary people, no athletes, into 3 groups and had them shoot free throws on a basketball court. One group practiced physically for 30 days. One group did nothing at all. One group sat and visualized themselves making every shot, never touching a ball. The physical group improved by 24%. The group that did nothing improved by nothing. The group that only visualized improved by 23%, almost the same gain, without ever touching the ball. The body was rehearsing all of it, without ever being told. But this could not just be true for archers and free throws. Could it work somewhere completely different? In 1954, no human being had ever run a mile in under 4 minutes. Doctors and scientists believed the human body simply couldn't do it. The heart would fail. The lungs would collapse. It was treated less like a sporting record and more like a biological wall. Roger Bannister broke through that wall. But his training was not only physical. He spent time picturing the exact moment of crossing the finish line. Not vaguely, in detail. He imagined looking up at the clock and seeing it read under 4 minutes. Before it had ever happened in reality, it had already happened many times inside his mind. When the real race came, his mind had already crossed the line. His body simply followed. He saw the clock before the clock saw him. So if seeing it first matters this much, how does someone actually practice it on purpose in real life? Zen teaching has an old image for this. An untrained mind is like a wild horse, running whenever it wants, pulled by whatever fear or worry passes through it. A trained mind is the same horse, with a skilled rider, directed exactly where it needs to go. Most people let their minds fill with whatever drifts through uninvited. But daily visualization is choosing, on purpose, what fills the mind first. The method is simply enough to start the day. Find a quiet place. Breathe slowly until the body settles. Build the vision in full detail. Not just what it looks like, but what it sounds like, what it feels like in the body, even the difficult moments along the way, faced calmly inside the mind before they're ever faced in real life. This is what separates a master from someone who only dreams. The master has already lived through the hard part, quietly, in private, long before anyone was watching. You paint the picture yourself, or fear paints them for you. Kenenzo did not make an impossible shot that day. He made a shot he had already taken 10,000 times. The Zen masters never separated training from imaging. They understood, centuries before any study confirmed it, that the body believes what the mind rehearses, again and again, until belief and reality become difficult to tell apart. That is the habit, not talent, not luck, not even the years of physical practice on their own. The quiet rehearsal, every morning and every night, until the real moment simply repeats what the mind has already done 10,000 times before. Leave a like if this changed how you think about practice. Tell us in the comments. What is the one shot you've been rehearsing in your mind? Share this with someone who needs to hear the hard part can happen quietly before it happens for real. And we'll see you in the next video.